Come again.
So are we biasing the transistor as whole and not by junction wise or something?
Biasing as a whole. Why? Because if I'm talking about a transistor, so we have a different characteristics, right? So this is one way of characteristics we got. So other one, so you got something like this, a constant. Fine. So this we called as common base, common emitter, where the current is almost constant. Here the current is not constant. So here you could see IC is equal to beta times IV in common emitter, whereas here IC is equal to alpha times IE,
I
almost equal output current. Exactly. So depending upon the characteristics, what we are doing is we are going to apply it in different applications. The transistor. So one of the applications, any applications you are aware of the transistors, any
Amplified
application.
used
switch.
as amplifiers.
So the first
Switch.
basic application you say it is amplifiers. So amplifiers is one of the applications of transistor, most important applications. So we are going to see in this course with respect to the amplifiers. Another application, as you said, is switching. So you can use your transistor as a switch, on and off. So how I'm going to use it is, in off state I could use cutoff region, in on state I could say it is an active region. So active region is this, a constant. So here, so I could either use switching in both the cases, in CE as well as CB. Whereas in amplifiers I could use only CE. Why? Because input current is small, output current is big. Whereas here input current is approximately equal to your output current. So amplification could be done through your common emitter only. But you could see this is the characteristics of an CE configuration. But where should I apply your input to make sure that the transistor amplifies the given signal? Is that clear? So these are your coordinating points, you could say, for an common emitter configuration. So where should I apply? I could apply here, here, or here, or here, or here. So there are multiple coordinating points throughout your characteristics. So where should I apply your input such that my output current is maximum? Fine. So generally, if I'm taking defining that amplification, that we are going to amplify a signal. So let us say I'll take a sinusoidal signal. Fine. So I'm going to define a sinusoidal signal. So I'm using common emitter. A small signal IB is applied. So I'm going to take it as a small signal. So this is a very small signal. I'm going to apply. But so whenever I'm applying a signal, so what will be our output? So output, so likewise I'm going to just indicate it to my characteristics. Consider this as straight line. Fine. So here you could see my signal will be in this fashion with respect to this way. So this is how my signal gets amplified when I'm applying in signal. So this signal is from your input end. Right. So this is how my signal will be gaining its amplitude with respect to the characteristics. So here I have started my signal, but let us say that I'm applying my input here at the very peak output current. Fine. So here.
So are we drawing the signal through the coordinating points? Like, are
Yes,
we
of
considering
course.
coordinate points as peaks?
Yeah, I've just generally driven a signal at the center I've taken. So at the active region I've considered. Exactly. I've considered a coordinating part across your active region.
So like I didn't get the amplification part, so like properly. How did we consider the amplified wave, sir? Can you please explain a bit about that, sir?
Yeah, sure. So we know that equation, right? So IC is equal to beta times IB.
IB.
Fine. So this is nothing but theoretical equation, theoretical calculation what we are going to do. So here you could see my IB is in terms of micro. So beta is approximately like say 100. Fine. So IC generally I'll be getting in terms of milli. Exactly. Theoretically I'm saying it. So
Yes.
approximately my answer will be in terms of milli. So while just seeing the difference between your IB and IC, you could say it is amplified.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So accordingly, I'm going to define a circuit. Say a basic circuit. So this is your output, your VCC. So this is your output resistance RC. So I'm going to apply an input signal here. A basic circuit. A transistor connected with a resistor and connected to supply. Fine. So here, what will be your output when I'm applying an input signal? So when I'm applying an input signal, your output will be V output. Am I right? Can I write it V output? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Can you be clear?
Yes, sir, we can write the output.
Why we can write V output? Because I said so. Is it so?
No, sir, we can.
So whenever I say that this is greater than VBE, it means the transistor is on. Fine. If the transistor is on, what does it refer? The current flows. Am I right? In this direction. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So in that case, what will be V output? VCC minus ICRC.
ICRC.
Clear? So I'll have my current VCC minus ICRC will be equal to your V output. So when I say that the input voltage, the applied voltage is less than VBE, 0.7, then what will be my V output?
Sir, 0.
Why it will be 0? So what will be the current? Will there be a current?
No, sir.
No. So then what will be V output?
0, sir.
Output is taken across here. Can you just tell me why it is 0? Voltage drop across your resistor will be?
Sir, it will be
VCC
maximum.
equal to VCC.
So it should be equal to VCC. Why? Because I'm taking output here. So it is connected directly to VCC. When IC is equal to 0, so voltage drop across resistor is 0. So it is V output is directly connected to VCC. Is that clear? So
Yes.
I could directly say this is the maximum voltage.
So this is because current is 0. So
Because current is 0. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So if I have to define your output voltage, V output with respect to V input. Now I'm just taking characteristics V output with respect to V input, not IC, not the output current. But so when V in is 0. My V output is, so this is V in. Input voltage applied. So when V in is 0, it is the maximum voltage, VCC. So the maximum voltage in the circuit is VCC. Clear? So when V in is greater or approaching to VCC, then what it will be? The least value. When V input is higher enough, going high enough, so this will be my equation. Why? Because the transistor starts conducting. Clear? So you could see my graph will be constant for some time. After that, it decreases and it goes something, or it goes to 0, final value. Why? Because when IC RC is equal to VCC, it will be 0. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So now this is my characteristics, input output characteristics. So here if I'm applying
Excuse
input,
me, sir.
yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please explain that graph again, sir? The VCC one.
So VCC is the maximum voltage applied in the circuit. So when V in is 0, the transistor is off state, output is the higher value. So let us take a value, right? So VCC equal to 10. V in varies from 0 to 10. Fine. RC, I'll take it 1 kilo ohm. Just reference values for your better understanding. So now when V in is 0, I could directly say V output is 10 volts. VCC equal to 10 in the circuit. Fine. So when V in is greater, it's going on, increasing through the scale. Fine. What happens? It decreases. Whenever V in or say IC RC reaches VCC value, so then it goes off. Exactly. So it depends upon increase in V in. So accordingly your IC increases. Clear?
So, sir, basically when the current IC increases and when ICRC equals to VCC, then no matter
Output
how
is zero.
much input voltage we give, the output voltage will be 0, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Clear? So now here,
Yes,
this
sir.
is the transition from peak to low value. Exactly. So you are going to use your transistor in this region only. Why? Because this is under off state, this is under on state. So you have a transition from high to low. Fine. So I could apply my input somewhere over here. So that is what I'm trying to say. A small signal is applied. So now if I'm applying a small signal here, just consider these are straight lines, right? According to the signal. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not getting it. I'm trying to draw a straight line. So you consider this is that clear? This, yeah. So consider this as straight lines, right? I'm not able to get it. So now, so this is how my waveform would be. So whatever I'm going to apply the input, right? So this is how the transition because of the characteristics. Why? Because when I'm applying input here, a small signal. So according to the characteristics, whatever I'm obtaining, right? My waveform will increase its amplitude with respect to the gain, and then it increases. Clear? So now this characteristics is what I'm trying to apply it here with the output characteristics with respect to the input voltage and current. So here it is IC and ICE. So this will be IB versus VB. So if I'm applying it in this fashion, what happens is I get an amplification. So this is my characteristics. So applying your characteristics, what happens? It increases. So under which point I have to choose? So this point I've considered the center. If I'm considering it here or here. So there are other points also. This point also I can consider. I could apply up inputs at this point also. So this point where I'm saying that input is very low. Fine. But at input very low, you could see my output is maximum. So you could see with low input, I could have your maximum current. Exactly. So now coming to your operating points. Where should I operate your transistor? So I have just given you example at the center point of your V input. Exactly. So the maximum V input could be VCC in the circuit. So it will be center point will be VCC by 2. So at VCC by 2, if I'm applying my input, I could say that I could get a maximum output. Maximum output could be obtained. So let us say that if I'm applying your input less than your VCC by 2 in this end. So the possibility of output waveform getting beyond. So you could either go low or above. So what I'm trying to say is your output current will be 0 or voltage. What I'm trying to define. So here there is no more voltage. So if I'm applying it here, my waveform will go in this fashion. So where here there is no characteristics. So what happens is at that peak, right, up to this peak only your characteristics will be there. So this will be clipped. So similarly, if I'm applying at the bottom, so negative half will be clipped. So the best option for you to is applied in this region, not exactly V by 2, so VCC by 2. So somewhere over here, not exactly to the corners. That is what I'm trying to define. So you could apply it in between your VCC by 2, greater or lesser. Exactly. So we have to choose your operating point. So operating point is where we are going to apply the input. Fine. So how do I choose your operating point in your characteristics? Output characteristics is depending upon the peak value of your current and peak value of your voltage. So if I'm considering the same circuit, the circuit itself. So what is the peak voltage in the circuit? What is the peak input voltage could be applied in the circuit? Or peak current, maximum current applied in the circuit? Can you just tell me? Go ahead.
So VCC by RC.
So the maximum current in the circuit IC will be VCC by RC. This is the maximum current possible in this circuit. Fine. Similarly, maximum voltage will be VCC. This is the maximum voltage could be applied. So why? Because at this point you could directly say IC is 0. Then when IC is equal to 0, so the maximum voltage in the circuit will be VCC. Clear? So now with this, I'll just fix your maximum current and maximum voltage and then connect these two lines. So wherever it is going to intersect your characteristics, I'm going to fix all those as operating points. And I'll just check whether it is closer enough to your boundaries of your characteristics. So in that case, I'm going to neglect this one. Why? Because it is at the boundary of your characteristics. Your waveform there is a possibility of waveform getting clipped off. So I have to choose the center operating point, whichever it intersects. So this point, not this one. Why? Because it is closer enough boundary. So either these 2 points I could use as an operating point to make sure that you have a proper amplification of the signal. Clear? So for that purpose, what we are going to do is we are going to bias the transistor and fix your operating point. So biasing your transistor, there are different types of biasing. So we're going to see. One of the biasing is called fixed bias. Clear? So this is your circuit biasing your transistor. It means that I'm going to make sure that the operating point should be fixed. For that purpose, I'm just biasing the circuit. So here, so what will be my input current? So we'll take some values and then check it. So VCC, RC, and RB. Fine. So before that, I'll just write the equations, right? So what will be your input loop? So how to find your IB, IC, IE, and similarly output voltage. VCE, VC, likewise. So in order to find your input end, what it could be, so I could just redraw the circuit for your better understanding. So this is VCC, this is also VCC. Why? Because this node is also VCC, this node is also VCC. If I'm applying 10 volts across a VCC, it means that this also possesses 10 volts, this is also possessing 10 volts. So I'm going to just show you explicitly, this is also 10 volts and this is also 10 volts. So this is RB and this is RC. So RC I'll take it as 2 kilo. So RB I'll take it as 380 kilo. Fine. So I'm going to consider beta value. So beta is equal to 150 VBE on equal to 0.7 volts. Fine. So now finding your input current, I'm going to write a loop in this fashion. What it will be? So it will be VCC minus IBRB minus what it will be? Minus this potential VBE equal to 0. Loop 1. Clear? So IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. Clear? So once I know what is IB, IC will be beta times IB, IE will be beta plus 1 IB or approximately IC. You can see the value, we'll get the similar ones. So loop 2 will be, so this loop, outer end. Why? Because I need to find what is the VCE voltage. Fine. So it will be VCC minus ICRC minus VCE equal to 0. If you have any doubts, you can just stop me. So VCE will be equal to VCC minus ICRC. So we know what is VCC, ICRC. Accordingly, you can find it. Can you just tell me the values? Calculate it. Am I audible? Kindly respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So what it will be? So I want you to give it amps in microamps, milliamps, in volts. It will be 9.3 divided by 380K. Go ahead. What is the answer? IB.
Sir, 2 microampere.
2 point
47.
louder. 2 point
0.44.
2.4. You can write it as 2.4. Others, I want all of them to respond. So make sure you carry your calculators every time during the class sessions. Why? Because we are going to solve many problems hereafter. Everything will be designing your amplifiers with respect to transistors and MOSFETs. Is it fine? 2.4.
So it will be sir milli sir.
Sorry,
So it will be sir milli sir unit
which one?
IB.
IB, it is in milli.
Yes sir. 2.44 sir milli.
Okay. Go ahead. I think this also. This will be in amps or what?
No sir, 24.47 milli.
Which one?
Sir IB.
IB is
24.47 milli sir.
Sir, it will be micro, sir, because the RB is in kilo, right? Kilo.
RB is in kilo. That's what I'm asking.
Sir, it will be micro, 24.47 microampere. 44.
So others, kindly verify your answers, right? If I'm wrong, kindly correct it. Others also getting the similar answer. 24.4 micro. Listen, these are not textbook problems. I've just given random values. So you might get different values. It is don't have to verify it. So sometimes you might get your VCE negative also. So you might get IB in milli also. Why? Because random values we are taking, right? Beta, I've just approximated 150, RC 2K, 380, 10. So these are random values. You might get different values, arbitrary values. So what is IC then?
Sir, 3.66 milliamps.
3.66. So IE will be?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, I had a doubt sir, in the exam, if we get a negative value for VC or something like that, so should we assume that our answer is wrong, or is it that the polarity will be reversed in the circuit?
Nothing like that. If it is negative also, it does not say that it is wrong. It is not about the polarity. The transistor operating region is different. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So the transistor might be operating in saturation region instead of active region. So it means that both the junctions are in forward bias. Why? Because we are using NPN transistor. You don't have to assume that it is a wrong answer. Depending upon the values, you might get different answers. Don't worry that it is in negative. Nothing like that. But so what is IE? To make it fast, right? A small calculation. Very simple circuit.
3.68.
3.68.
3.68, sir. Milliamp.
So I will take it 3.6. It is approximately the same. What is VCE? So it is 10 minus 3.66 into 2K. So it is in positive only. No problem. What is the answer? So it should be approximately 3 point something, if I'm not wrong. VCE.
2.68.
2.68. Okay. Are you getting the similar answers? So now we'll say that the transistor here, you could see it is operating in active region only. How? So I'm saying that it is acting in active region only. Can you justify how? So we could see that VCE from the transistor symbol, I'm just saying VCE is equal to, so this potential VCE will be equal to VBC plus VBE. But so VBC is nothing but junction J2. VBC. So VBC will be equal to VCE minus, right? Sorry. So VCE minus VBE. So what it will be? So VCE is 2.68 minus 0.7.
One 1.9.
1.9 volts. Fine. So VBC is positive value. So it means that junction J2 is applied with a positive value. So it is an NPN transistor. Fine. So NPN transistor, junction J1 is forward bias. If junction J2 is a positive value, it means that junction J2 is reverse biased. Why? Because NPN transistor, right? So for N, you have given a positive value. So it means that junction J2 is reverse bias. It means that your device is operating in active region. Fine. If you are getting in negative, let us say that VBC is a negative value. In that case, what happens for your NPN transistor? So what is the potential applied to junction J2? It is a negative value. So N is applied with a negative. So it means that it is acting in saturation region. Junction J1 and J2 are operating in forward bias. Is that clear? So that is how you are going to find in which region is your transistor operating. So in cutoff region, don't think of it. Why? Because if VB is not 0.7, it is cutoff. Clear? So now coming to your operating point. So now I directly say it is operating in active region. So we have to fix a point. So once I'll say that I have fixed a particular point at the center itself. So as your transistor had different beta values, it is not that the same always. I have approximated to 150. So if the beta value is 100, and if I'm placing another transistor, let us say that this is the circuit which is available already. So I could place a different transistor in this region. For testing purpose, you're going to use multiple circuit. But so your circuit is fixed. I have different transistors. If I have to see whether this circuit is going to used as an amplifier throughout if I'm using any transistor. That is what we have to check. In that case, I have to make sure that your operating point doesn't move or doesn't change with respect to change in transistor. So the conditions is nothing but to make sure that the transistor operating point is not moving. So once the circuit is fixed, so the transistor depends upon beta and temperature. Why? Because if beta is changing, I could directly say from the equation IC, so output current is depending upon beta. And similarly, temperature, why I have written temperature is, if temperature increases, what happens to your output current? Increases. So it means that your output current IC is depending upon these two parameters. So if output current is independent of these two parameters, then I could directly say this circuit could be used as an amplifier, or you could fix your operating point by using this circuit itself, biasing circuit. So what I'll do is, so I'll just directly apply an AC signal V side to the same circuit, and I use this circuit as an amplifier itself. But is this circuit reliable is what I'm going to see. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check whether IC in this circuit is depending upon beta and temperature. So directly I could say from the input equation itself, IC is beta times IB. So IB was, what was the equation for IB? I've given. So it was VCC minus VB divided by RB, if I'm not wrong. Fine. So here you could see that the beta is not getting cancelled. So only option is, if beta is getting cancelled, directly I could say that IC is independent of beta. But here you could directly say IC is depending upon beta, and similarly temperature. If temperature increases, I don't have any equation for temperature. So this circuit, fixed bias, is not a reliable circuit for amplification. Clear? So for that purpose, what we do is, we go to another kind of biasing called emitter bias, or I call it as self bias. Clear? So this circuit is IC dependent. That is why I'm moving to the next biasing condition. So what is the small change from the previous one is, I'm going to add a resistor across your emitter end. So remaining circuit, I'm going to have the same VCC, which is RB. Clear? So I'm going to see with respect to the equations. I hope you can solve the problem in next class. Just the expression I'm going to give. So now I'll see that IC will be beta times IB. So what is IB? What will be the input loop? Go ahead. You can just tell me the input loop. Come on. Input loop is, just now I gave you the input loop, right, from the circuit. Really respond.
VCC minus
VCC minus
VBE upon RB.
Input loop I'm asking. Then what is this one? RE. So if I redraw the circuit, right, how does it look? You're going to try to loop in closed circuit only, right? This will be RB. This is your closed loop, right? In previously there was not a resistor, so I didn't use it. It was grounded. So it is a closed loop. But now that is not the case, right? I have a resistor here. What will be the loop?
VCC minus IBRB minus IRE.
What about VB then? So it will be VCC minus IVRB minus
VBE, sir.
VBE minus
IRE.
IER equal to 0. This is my input loop. So now IE could be two different currents. I have to make sure that in a single current. So we know that IE equal to beta plus 1 IB. You know that I hope you know the equation. So IE is nothing but IC plus IB, total current, IE. So IC is beta times IB. So taking beta out common or IB common out, so it will be beta plus 1 IB. So just substitute it. Tell me what is IB.
VBB minus VBRB plus beta plus 1 RE.
VBB. Where is VBB? I didn't get any VBB. Repeat it once again. V.
So sorry, sir. VCC minus VBE
VCC minus VBE
upon RB
RB
plus beta plus 1
plus beta plus 1
RE.
RE. So others kindly follow it. If you're not understanding, kindly ask. Just KVL equation, I'm applying it. So now IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB plus beta plus 1 RE. So now here you could see that. So if I'm substituting this one in IC, so I'm just writing in terms of equation, not solving any problem here. So now IC is equal to beta times your IB. So it is VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta plus 1 RC. So in denominator I could see a beta value. Exactly. In numerator also I have a beta. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to approximate your RB. You know beta plus 1 is approximately equal to beta. That is what we are using. So IC is approximately IE. I told you, right? Why? Because so it doesn't have to have a different value. So beta plus 1 IB and beta times IB doesn't make a big difference. So I'm just approximating beta plus 1 to beta, and RB, if I'm choosing RB, a very smaller than a beta plus 1 or beta times RB. I'll take it as beta times RB itself. Don't get confused. Beta times RE. If I'm choosing RB value, a very less value. I'm saying why? Because very less value, it should be negligible. If I'm choosing an RB, a very less value, then what happens? IC is
And write denominator as beta times R.
into VCC minus VBE divided by beta times RE. So now I can just cancel beta. So I can directly write IC is approximately equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RE. This is approximation only, I'm saying it. Fine. So if RB is very less, then I could say IC is independent of beta. Clear? Independent
Yes.
of beta. So one more parameter is temperature. So we know that temperature increases, IC increases. If IC increases, IE increases the same amount. So how much ever IC increases, the same amount IE also will increase. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because both are approximately equal. So the same amount will be reduced in your input end. So whenever IC increases, the same amount of current will decrease in your input. So accordingly, IC also will be compensated. So whenever there is an increase in IC, the same amount of current will decrease in IB. So accordingly, IC also will be decreased. So this is why we call this as self bias. So the resistor will make sure that there is a drop in your current. Why? Because I'm using your emitter resistance. That is why we call it as self bias. So the same amount of current which is increased due to the temperature will be reduced. So we could declare that IC is independent of temperature also. If I'm using emitter bias or self bias condition with RB very less than beta times RE. So if this condition is satisfied, I could say that the emitter bias is a reliable circuit for amplification. But how to achieve RB very less? Any idea? So RB is across your input end. So this is your input end. So in order to have a reduced value, so is there any possibility to have reduced value? How to choose a reduced value? Techniques I'm asking. How to reduce an RB value? Generally RB value, what is the value I've given? For example, in the previous problem, what is RB value?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but sir, can you please take attendance, sir? Because we have another class now.
Yeah, I'll take it. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Can you just tell me how to reduce RB value, resistor value, how to reduce value? So previous problem I gave you RBS, what is the value I gave you?
350.
Sorry, louder.
380.
380K. Fine. So how to reduce a larger value? Any idea how to reduce a larger value? I need to have a smaller value.
Sir, we can connect a resistor in parallel.
So one good option will be connecting a resistor in parallel with a smaller value. So if both the conditions are parallel, so the resistor approaches only a smaller value. The equivalent resistor RTH, which we use it for Thevenin's, right? So equal RTH are called as equivalent resistor itself, right? Because we are finding equivalent only. R equivalent will be RB parallel, the other resistor, parallel resistor. So in that case, so resistance will approach your smaller value only. So if I'm choosing a smaller value and placing it parallel to your RB, so you'll have it chosen a smaller value only. So by that you could just have your reduced RB. So for that we'll go to discuss the next biasing circuit next class. Clear? So this will be for today's session.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can you